From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Monday, August 14th, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.02 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,283 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 4.3 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,204. Antiwar.com reports during the presidential campaign, Donald Trump was adamantly opposed to the idea of arming Ukraine, seeing it as contrary to a potential diplomatic rapprochement with Russia. As with a lot of candidate Trump's positions, President Trump's position seems to be shifting. The possibility of arming Ukraine is now the topic of intense debate within the cabinet, with proponents arguing that such arms would be a great way to increase the pressure on Russia after a flurry of anti-Russia sanctions. Such a move is potentially risky because Ukraine is in the midst of a shaky ceasefire with Eastern rebels, a ceasefire the U.S. has not publicly endorsed. The armament of one side could be seen as overtly trying to undermine the ceasefire and encourage Ukraine to attack the rebels. Practical reasons not to make such a move might not matter, however, as President Trump is seen to be under serious pressure to accept any serious plan that would be anti-Russia as part of an ongoing effort to escape the pro-Russia label. Are you an advocate for free market money? Do you promote Bitcoin as an alternative in a fiat-centric world? Then you need Spend-A-Bit in your arsenal, the search engine for things you can buy with Bitcoin. Spend-A-Bit aggregates millions of products from thousands of Bitcoin-enabled merchants. Keep your money in the free economy. Visit spendabit.co today. UPI reports the Food and Drug Administration said it opened an investigation after 5 people died shortly after obesity treatment surgery in which a silicone balloon device was inserted into their stomach. The FDA said in a letter to healthcare providers, all 5 reports indicate that patient deaths occurred within a month or less of balloon placement. In 3 reports, death occurred as soon as 1 to 3 days after the balloon placement. At this time, we do not know the root cause or incidence rate of patient death, nor have we been able to definitely attribute the deaths to the device or the insertion procedures for these devices. According to the Washington Post, the liquid-filled intragastric balloon was manufactured by 2 California-based companies. 4 deaths occurred after patients were fitted with the Orbero intragastric balloon system by Apollo Endosurgery. 1 death occurred after a patient got the Reshape integrated dual balloon system by Reshape Medical. In a statement to CNN, Reshape Medical said, "There is no responsibility that we take more seriously than patient safety. Reshape is committed to supporting the continued safe and effective use of the dual balloon and is proactively communicating with physicians about this FDA update. Patients with questions about the FDA update should contact their physicians directly." Intragastric balloons have been used since the 1980s when the balloon was filled with air instead of liquid, but the device reportedly caused bowel obstruction in many patients and fell out of favor, according to the National Institutes for Health. With device manufacturers switching from air-filled devices to liquid-filled devices, the intragastric balloon has seen a comeback, but not without reports of medical problems. In February, the FDA released a warning to healthcare providers to monitor patients with the device for potential risk of acute pancreatitis and spontaneous overinflation. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports the White House said on Sunday, a day after President Trump was criticized across the political spectrum for not explicitly denouncing white supremacists, that President Trump's remarks condemning violence at a white nationalist rally were meant to include the KKK and neo-Nazi groups. U.S. authorities opened an investigation into the deadly violence in Virginia, which put renewed pressure on the Trump administration to take an unequivocal stand against right-wing extremists who occupy a segment of the president's political base. A 32-year-old woman was killed and 19 people were injured, 5 critically, on Saturday when a man plowed a car into a crowd of people protesting the white nationalist rally in the southern college town of Charlottesville, Virginia. Another 15 were injured in a bloody street brawl between the white nationalists and the counter-demonstrators who fought each other with fists, rocks, and pepper spray. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.